Happy Monday. I love you guys for all the support. People were asking what happened to the Friday show. I actually had a pretty bad fall on Thursday. And then on Friday, I just, I was in no position to film. So I actually did 0 shows on, across all platforms. I don't think I uploaded anything on Instagram. Didn't do anything on Patreon. Didn't do anything on my podcast or here on the Time Teller channel. Now, guys, speaking of my uploads, I do a show Monday through Friday here on the Time Teller channel on YouTube. And if you don't get a live show, then it's because I uploaded an edited review. So if you can join me live, I do appreciate it. If you want to watch this later because you're, at work or you are in a different part of the world and joining me live is inconvenient, I understand. But I do want to tell you that I see you, I love you, and I acknowledge you, and thank you for supporting my channel. It is 2:03 p.m. Let's get down to business. So what are we talking about today? Well, Richard Mille, all right, a watchmaker that I've been heavily critical of, and it's surprising to me how people defend them, okay? I'm somewhat tongue-in-cheek with my criticisms because it's... Okay, I think I've picked 3 things. I called them Ben 10 watches. That's one category of Richard Mille. Another category of Richard Mille is, I think I called them fruit roll-up. And then diorama. And they each have very telltale traits, okay? So the Ben 10 watches look like this. This is the Sylvester Stallone Caliber RM2501. It's a manual wind tourbillon, 24-hour display, minutes, seconds, chronograph, 30-minute totalizer, power reserve, torque and function indicators, limited to 20 pieces. This was made for Sylvester Stallone, like it was given to him. And it has a leveler for some reason. I guess to use in conjunction with your compass and stuff. It is enormous, ugly, and looks literally like the watch that Ben 10 wears in the cartoons. Then there's the fruit by the foot ones, and or the fruit roll-up Richard Milles. And the truth is, those are watches that, they have a series of watches that are literally candy. It's like literal candy that is on a watch strap. And it's stupid. Then there's the diorama, or diarrhea watches that I call them, where it looks like a child's diorama and there's animals in there. And it's just very stupid. It's not nicely presented like something from Vacheron or JLC, where they have animals integrated in some motif. It's all just very ugly. And I think Richard Mille is a watchmaker who is the opposite of H. Moser. And here's what I mean. Richard Mille puts a bunch of stupid BS all over their watches, inside their watches, around their watches, perfectly encapsulated with this RM2501 Sylvester Stallone watch. And H. Moser is like the opposite of that. It's very clean. There's not much branding. You don't see much. Yeah, sometimes they have a display case back. Sometimes you see a tourbillon. But it's very clean and sophisticated, right? Well, I am going to go out on a limb here and make a very definitive statement that I think Richard Mille should stop making wristwatches altogether. All right? But I still think they should make 2 items specifically, not wristwatches. And these are items that they already make, okay? Now, one of which I've mentioned on this channel, and another one I have not mentioned ever. In fact, I just learned about it. So without further ado, I'm going to show you the 2 items that I think Richard Mille should produce more of and should expand upon. because I think they should move away from wristwatches and focus on things like this. The Caliber RM020 manual wind tourbillon pocket watch. I'm not even joking about this. I'm not a pocket watch collector. I still get messages. This happened a lot more when I first started this channel, but it was very, very common for me to get emails into the shop and like messages through my various social media of people asking me various questions about pocket watches. That's a whole other hobby as far as I'm concerned. I don't think we would have wristwatches, obviously, without pocket watches, so there's a clear, relationship there. But as far as my knowledge and as far as my interests go, pocket watches just aren't my thing. I think some of them are very cool, especially like the early Holy Trinity wristwatches, like these, like Vacheron has some, or pocket watches, excuse me. Vacheron has some crazy pocket watches. But something like this is actually very cool. And it's modern built, still has a very Richard Mille aesthetic, down to the chain being all chunky and weird. But this is actually really cool. It's really cool, and I see it as kind of moving art, right? Now, I don't think that Richard Mille has found a way to make their wristwatches appealing, to make their wristwatches look like moving art, but I do think that they are they're good at making interesting mechanical, industrial items. So I don't think they should move away from watchmaking. I just don't think that they should make wristwatches anymore. They should make more pocket watches. Moving on. Here's the other item that I think that they should make. This blew my mind. I didn't even know it existed, dude. $120,000 Richard Mille mechanical fountain pen. Now, when I saw this sent to my inbox, I scoffed at first and was like, who the heck would spend $120,000 on a pen, right? Well, but then I see watches that are like close to $1 million and I'm like, ooh, this is sick. So the truth is, like, if you're a baller, $120,000 probably not that expensive for you if you can afford a Richard Mille watch. This pen isn't necessarily that expensive to you. But let's take a look at it because I think it's actually very, very cool. And I would never want one necessarily, but I think that if Richard Mille expanded their business and made more of these kind of mechanical items that aren't wristwatches, I think they'd be a much cooler brand, in my opinion. So I'm going to put on my headphones and we're going to listen to this.
The Richard Mille RMS05 mechanical fountain pen in carbon forgé. Because look at this.
In carbon forgé, which literally just means like forged carbon.
Oops. There is nothing.
There's no nib.
There is no nib. So you have a little button here on the bottom.
Okay.
You click it.
I hear the gears. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, and the nib comes out.
The nib comes out mechanically. This is the Richard Mille RM.
So I don't think that I would ever necessarily need one of these. I also don't think I would ever want to spend that amount of money on a pen. However, that's actually something cool you could have on your desk that I would think is interesting. Same with like that pocket watch, right? That's something you could have on your desk on a stand like this and have it be kind of interesting and fun and impressive, something to look at, maybe play with. But I don't know why their wristwatches just do not have the same appeal. They just don't. And it could just be me. It could just be I'm set in my ways and I'm not going to open my mind to Richard Mille items. Dude, let's look. Okay, the brand. They don't have anything that I like, dude. Let's learn about their concept. Diminutive oh, well, what am I? Diminutive marvels of technology, painstakingly produced in limited quantities. Richard Mille timepieces are designed specifically for those who want a true appreciation of fine watchmaking. I wholly disagree. I would not call what Richard Mille does as fine watchmaking. These are, dude, Sar Bomba, which is a watchmaker I've worked with in the past. They make watches that look exactly like this and feel pretty much exactly like this. Yeah, it doesn't have all the crazy tourbillon and like everything that regulators and everything that these have, but you're pretty much getting the same aesthetic and like and I was even clear in that review of the Sar Bomba that like this is not my bag. Like this whole aesthetic is not for me. It's too thick. These watches are too thick. They're fairly comfortable because of how it's concave. It's curved, I should say. But it's like if you want one of these, just get a Sar Bomba. If you want true fine watchmaking with crazy complications and you have 6 figures to spend on a watch, I have a list of watches you should get before you even consider Richard Mille. So I know I'm going hard against them, but look, dude, they have things like this, or they have cool things like this. An interesting fountain pen. So, yeah, I don't hate Richard Mille. I just hate their wristwatches. So if you have a ton of money burning a hole in your pocket, maybe show more interest in these types of items, and Richard Mille can move away from wristwatches and just focus on cool mechanical items, right? That's my hope, and I just want to start this off with a Monday rant. All right, I gotta go to do some PT, and I will see you tomorrow, God willing, if I am able to wake up. All right, guys, I love you guys. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed. I'm Jory Goodman, the time teller. Always remember, I didn't invent time. I just tell it. Love you guys.